Very happy to say Louis C.K. is in studio. Season 4 tonight on FX, starting at 10 o'clock. 2 episodes every Monday night for the next 7 weeks, I believe, right?
7 weeks, 14 episodes.
And we were just talked about all the episodes because we were lucky enough to see the first 4.
We were privy to the first 4, which is great before it airs, but then after it airs, you're like, no, I can't watch for like 4 fucking
Well, it's only
episodes.
2 weeks.
That's true, yes.
And after that, the first 4 are more like the other seasons. That they're like single stories.
Right.
But the 4th episode with the elevator lady.
Yes.
The elevator lady and then the young woman.
Right.
They stay. That's Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah.
And Esther Bellint, who's, I don't know if you ever saw Stranger Than Paradise. Remember that Jim Jarmusch movie?
Oh, man. No, I didn't see that one.
Nobody remembers that.
We're not.
I've never seen any of his movies.
You know who was fantastic?
We're not that cool, I'm sorry.
Goddamn Charles Grodin.
He's great, right? He's in 4 episodes.
Is he?
So anyway,
I saw him once.
that the 4th episode is the beginning of a 6-episode story.
Oh, okay, great. Yes.
And then after that, there's a 2-episode story, and then another 2. So all the rest are connected.
Know what makes Charles Grodin so brilliant? He's just hanging out eating his sandwich.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, I'm like, eat the fucking sandwich and get acting. But he took his time.
Oh, he made a whole thing of it.
He just was taking his time before he was going to acknowledge and talk to Louie about what was going on in that scene. But the brilliance of that, to just make eating a sandwich
it was written that way. I mean, he definitely wouldn't have taken it upon himself.
Just take that long.
And I certainly would have cut it if he just did it. It would have been like, what's he doing?
That's funny.
I eat the sandwich.
Oh,
He's a really great guy. He's very funny. And
I
loved having him around. It was actually hard to shoot with him because it was so fun to talk to him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I had to have the AD kind of, I told him, just don't, because they were all very reverential. And
of course.
Like, just tell me when we have to work again, because he's got a million great stories.
I bet.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
That and another thing, there were so many fucking just hilarious moments in the 4 episodes that I watched.
The poker scene with the Jim Norton and the gang.
With all the guys again. Right. And that goddamn joke with the guy at the elevator, the construction worker.
The Pinocchio joke.
Was that hilariously like, no, that's not the joke. I fucking loved it. I know that guy. I've worked with him.
You are that guy.
I am that guy. And there's so many moments like that. Like the whole storyline, obviously, of each episode is very well written and very fun and just so natural. But then there's these moments of just hilarious little parts that are in there. I can't tell you how much. I thought, as far as just seeing 4 episodes at the beginning of the season, I thought it looks like this is one of the best seasons.
I think it's my favorite one, maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. They're all different things I like about each season.
Hard for you to tell.
Yeah. I know. I can't think back that well. But this one feels like, I mean, we spent much more time on it. We took a lot. We shot like 60 days. Usually we shoot 40.
Wow.
Oh, really? So it was literally like whatever that percentage is more.
Whatever it is, that much more.
That's a third more.
A third more. Nice work.
You were missed. Taking the year off, it seems like it was a good thing for you, huh?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because I just took longer to execute the season. I took longer to write it and longer to shoot it. And then editing it was nothing because we were so well shot. Then it was just assembling it. Usually editing takes a long time when you didn't shoot well. So
So
you're trying to fix it all.
You got to
fix it in the mix.
Yeah. You got to explain the subway thing again.
The what?
The subway. I was obsessed with the fact that
the subway rules.
No, just you filming on a subway train.
Oh. And how'd you get access to one?
Oh, well,
how does that work again? Because, I mean, as you see it, you're like, oh, my God, I think you got the platform shut down for an afternoon. Of course, that didn't happen.
No, it's hard to shoot in New York City subways. It's a lot of rigmarole and...
language, yes.
Sorry about that. You gotta they obviously you need to get a permit and they need to the way it works is that there's one train that they let you use.
Right.
It's the shuttle train that all that train does is go from Grand Central to Times Square.
Oh, okay.
The S train.
Right.
The S train has no other route. It just goes between 2 stops.
Right.
Oh, shit.
So that's the train they give you, and they give you those 2 platforms that you can use, and you can't shoot until, you can't start shooting until about 10 o'clock at night. So they shut down the S train.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a way busier one than I would have. That's a pretty busy line.
But at that time of night, nobody's much on it.
Who's going over there?
And they only shut down one. They don't shut down the whole S train service. It basically gets cut in half. They let us use one. And then the rest of it, we actually asked to use. This was more ambitious than we've ever done on the subway. That we asked to we used 103rd Street at Lexington.
Right.
But that was not using the train. But you have to go. We were like, all we're going to do is run around the platform, and they said you can't touch a train. On those other ones, you can't go near a train. I'm like, totally. And then you get permission based on that. And then once you have that permission, you go, we just want an actor to get off the train. We won't put a camera on the train. We just want an actor to get off the train.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they go, but not on the train. You can't show an actor getting on the train. You go, totally. And then on the day and the moment, you go, look, the trains. I'm just getting on as a human. Like I actually was saying to them,
I'm going.
I have a Metro card. I'm getting on the train.
Right.
You can't stop me from getting on the train. So you try not to burn too many bridges with them each time.
Yeah.
But it's a pain in the ass.
That's why I wanted to ask you about, because it seems exhausting, and you write this really, really good storyline, and now you have to work around the city's rules.
It's very hard. New York City is a really hard place to shoot in some aspects.
Yeah.
It's also great, though, because they're used to it everywhere, and I love it. It's fun. You got to get in shape for it, though. That was hard.
Up and down those stairs.
Yeah, and all of this stuff. Just running those kind of shoots is really exhausting. And that one, because we have to start shooting at 8 p.m., so we wrapped around 6 in the morning.
Wow. Are there regular people just getting on and off the train that you're just kind of filming yourself?
They're all extras. So we feel that's also, it's very expensive, and when you have that many extras and you're trying to create a random moment,
right? In
order to shoot it right, they has to be the same every time. So they actually have to tell every fucking person
where they randomly should move.
Yes, and then everyone has to reset, and then you'd have the moment happen again. I'm amazed. I have my AD. Our assistant director is this guy Adam Escott. I'm amazed how he's able to do it.
You use you do the extras thing well. Like there's so many movies where they have the construction work. Of course they dress him in.
It looks like that guy would be.
But
here.
we had to ask you if that was extras, because they really just blend in well to the scenes.
Yeah, it's important to feel like it's a real place, I think, and then also to try to get actors to feel like extras a lot of the times, especially people who are supposed to just be some guy, and then they pop out and do something.
Because I've heard that extras sometimes want to make themselves stand out, so they do something.
Well, no,
stupid.
it's actors. I wish actors were more like extras. Some extras are geniuses at seeming totally real.
Right.
Like in the subway thing, I'm not going to give away the story, but at the end of this terrible thing that happens where I'm yelling at my kids and stuff, there's one guy. I kept the shot longer than I should have as far as the timing, but this one guy on the platform did an amazing job of looking at me and kind of shaking his head, and it was for him a very private moment. Just going, man, that's fucked up. Like you could see, and it was so real. Like I was just an extra. He probably got paid, $80 for 12 hours of work.
Wow.
But some actors, when you're going to talk to somebody like a construction worker or whatever, that if the actor looks too acty.
Right, exactly.
It's like if you're watching a movie and the main character goes to buy a newspaper and, Al Pacino runs that newspaper kiosk.
Right.
I wonder if that's going to figure in. I wonder if I wonder if that's the part.
I remember we did some scene in a bar, and it was so funny. Some extra just kept trying to move himself to get in the scene, and Louie got annoyed. He goes, that guy's really annoying me. He goes, no, just stand over there, and he put him 8 feet out of the camera.
Shit.
That was it for him.
But still make him go stand there and do something.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah. I remember that guy.
Yeah, he really bugged you.
There was a guy who was just supposed to stand from the waist down. You're supposed to see him because he's behind somebody who's sitting. He's supposed to stand there holding a tray, like a waiter tray. but he held it like the way he just stood holding the tray was so like he was trying to throw it like a discus. It was so awkward. Yeah. And I fired him. Told him to go home.
You got a great eye for that stuff. You could pick that shit out in other TV shows and movies. It drives me nuts. It's supposed to be just dumb background stuff or whatever. The Seinfeld episode too. People are going to be talking about that was.
That went really great.
It's hard to talk about these episodes because no one has seen them
been
yet.
on TV yet.
Yeah, you don't want to wreck it.
I could ask you this: Where did you get the Hamptons house?
We just
that wasn't in the Hamptons, was it?
Yeah, sure it was.
It was, okay.
All that was right on the Hamptons.
And you could just rent a Hamptons house like that?
Well, we have a locations department, and they're very good.
Yeah.
Jeff Cairn, the location guy. They go to places, they go to the area where we want to shoot, and they drop leaflets in people's, I mean, there's some places that get rented out a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of movies where I'm like, I've shot in that place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a bunch of places that always get.
Yeah, they always get used.
They can't wait to have you.
Yeah, but there's other places that, you go approach somebody. These guys there's an art to that. Like, going to knock on somebody's door. Would you mind if we
amazing
break at least 3 things in your house?
How accurate was that as far as Jerry goes?
Jerry?
Did Jerry have to act for that at all?
Jerry, it's funny. No, he's such a sweet guy. Yeah. He's one of the nicest guys ever. He never talks to me that way. No, he's a very nice guy. Well, when I opened for Jerry back when I was like 18, he was a little rough with me, but he probably should have been. If I had an 18-year-old comic open for me, I would be reflexively mean to them, I think.
Right, really?
Just, what the fuck do you think you're doing, But, no, Jerry's a very sweet guy. And I think it was very generous of him to be, he was pretty cold in the thing.
It was so funny to watch, man.
Yeah. And he throws me under the bus for the audience. And
completely.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like how he gets upset at you because you should have known, like when you show up. And
I'm not sure that came across. The thing was that
it's hilarious. Louie, he's like, Louie, the Hamptons.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking benefit.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you should have known.
And I look like shit. And also a thing I don't know if it was lost in the audience is that it was supposed to be a 5 o'clock show.
Right.
The show starts at 5 and I showed up at 5.
Right, yeah. Because you're like, under your breath, it's 5.
5. Right. I got to admit, I stole that a little bit from Goodfellas.
Oh, really?
You remember it when he's like, it's my mother's name.
Yeah.
When he keeps saying it. Remember the guy who has the car?
Oh, it's my mother's name.
When I say don't buy anything, don't get it. It's my mother's name. Don't buy it. Then it cools down and they stop talking and he's just like, it's my mother's name. What's that? And he's, so I did it. I was being that guy and I said,
what's the matter with you?
It's at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock.
It's at 5.
Amazing. I think people are going to love the episode. So,
do you get suggestions on set from people? Like, hey, how about if I do that? Or maybe we could do that.
Like Colin rewriting fucking Crocodile Dundee 2?
Because you seem like you would handle that really rather well.
Yeah, you just kind of go, oh, yeah, no. 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 Yeah, let's go ahead and do what's written.
What I've planned.
Yeah.
I got a great idea.
Yeah, it's hard to do, to not want to be a people pleaser in those moments, just to kind of do what you got to do.
It's not hard.
No,
I don't have a hard time shutting somebody down. I really don't. We came here to do something.
Did that come with a couple of seasons, or were you instantly?
I haven't had a lot of people trying to change shit. But if somebody's got that kind of gumption or that in them, that spirit, that spunk,
you want to crunch
it takes once or twice. You just go, no, don't do anything different.
But like the guy with the
then they lose you got to have a lot of fucking nerve to go like, well, I'm gonna keep trying.
Right.
Yeah, or the guy with the tray, like just the ability to tell that guy like you're doing that wrong. Like I'm such a people pleasing fruit. Like just the fact that you could do that.
That does come with years of experience because at first you do as a director you want to be like, I want everybody to be happy here. I want everybody to say I was the nicest director they ever worked with. And you do that a couple times, and you get fucked. And then you watch the show; it's not what you wanted, and then other people criticize it, and none of them name the guy with the tray.
Could have been taken care of, right there at the moment.
So after a while, you go like, I don't give a fuck how much anybody likes me.
That's not the important.
We're getting
part,
this right. Yeah. And also, there's a kind of instinctive reflex with crews that they want to say this is the greatest show ever, but it's a way to keep you happy so that you don't push for much.
Right.
So I've always assumed that we're under the gun, that we're not going to have a good, that we're going to not do well if we don't try hard.
Yeah.
But they also, a good crew, they wanted to do a good show. Everybody wants to do good work.
Sure.
So I could get a little tough on the set as far as trying to get it right. And I think everybody likes it, though. And also, I don't keep people late. I don't do that. I don't stay till fucking 2 in the morning.
But they also know you're a nice guy in the end, too.
I don't know if they know that.
I think Louis C.K. difficult to work with?
I don't think
that'll be the headline now. TMZ. Right. Louis admitted he's very difficult to work for.
Well, we're getting to that point where we got to tear Louis back down to earth, right? That's what we do with our celebrities.
Well, GQ.
Enough of that.
Well, now you're in.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty fucking...
Did you ever think you'd see yourself on the cover of GQ magazine?
No, I really didn't want to be on the cover of GQ magazine.
Oh, no, huh?
That's not me at all.
It's a great shot, though. It really is.
Yeah, you look rather handsome and uncomfortable. It's kind of the eyes.
It's perfect, right? Yeah.
Well, I hate doing a photo shoot like that. I really hate it. And I've gotten away with covers where I'm in a black T-shirt doing nothing.
Right.
I've gotten away with that, and now nobody will do that now.
Right. They need you to do something
GQ
else.
said, we'll put him on the cover, but he has to put on something interesting. He has to do a cover, like a real photo shoot.
Right.
And I did it because that's a high-profile cover, and it means I don't have to do a bunch of little shitty fucking, picture of me and Aziz Ansari looking off balance.
Right.
Or next to a pool or something.
Yeah. No, that one's like front and center everywhere.
Yeah.
You walk into a store, you will see that right there.
That was one day with a reporter, one day at the studio, and it covers a lot of ground.
Right.
So it means I don't like doing any of this stuff, so it means I don't have to do a lot of other stuff.
But it's perfect, and I mean this as a compliment. You didn't sell out to be on the cover of GQ. That's you.
That is me.
Being awkward in a really nice tailored suit.
They asked me to wear a spray tan. They had a spray can of tan.
Oh, really?
I bring my own makeup person to photo shoots for the opposite reason that most people do. So I don't have to put any makeup on.
Right.
Most people do it to make sure how great they look.
Right.
But mine is to ward away, like he's not going to do this.
He's got a guy, and then...
and who does nothing.
They don't do anything.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything. So we hang out.
Does she at least carry around some cases?
She's got all the shit laid out, but she does nothing. That's totally true.
Just touches you with that triangle piece of foam with nothing on it.
That's right.
Anti-shine, maybe.
It looks like she's doing stuff.
There's nothing on it.
And so the photographer said we have this spray tan. She said 99% of the guys wear the spray tan, and I said I am the 1%. I shouldn't even be on the cover.
Yeah.
And it took a while to say no to it.
Right.
But I just keep saying no with a smile. No, I will not do it.
Wow.
What was their reasoning for wanting you wear a spray tan when you're...
Because it evens out your face, and it would have given me some... but if you had seen me with a spray tan, you would have been like, oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you.
Oh, man.
But, so it took some doing to look... And she said to me, they're going to do it anyway, but in post, it's going to look worse. I was like, all right, let them do it.
They didn't do much.
I'd rather look touched up. I'm happy if the story is they had to do so much Photoshop to that guy. That's fine. But to be like, is he trying to look like he has like a brown tan?
Bronze.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
and then,
Christ.
we're just catching up here at SNL for the second time. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Yeah.
And the monologue was amazing.
Monologue was fantastic.
We played the whole thing here. We loved it. We loved the monologue.
That was to me the whole...
too.
When they asked me to do it, I thought the monologue is the whole thing for me.
Right.
And so I worked really hard on it. That's probably the hardest I've worked on a set. Like how many times I ran it in clubs.
Yeah.
And I tried to run it in places that were bad. Because when I go sometimes to the cellar, I get a lot of goodwill.
Right.
That doesn't help me get the thing right. And also from the first time I did the monologue, the first thing that I was surprised by when I did SNL the first time is when I looked at the audience, I'm like, these are not cool comedy people.
Right.
They're tourists. They're from the middle of America, which is who I play to when I'm on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not a New York vibe.
No.
So I thought I got to get this set to be foolproof. My feeling was I might, with this, I didn't want to do a set that pandered to that crowd. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to have it ready so that if nobody laughed, I'd still look okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to be good enough at that set that if I got silence, I could still... Because when you're watching somebody bomb on TV, you can only tell by their face if they're bombing. You know what I mean? The laughs are not that big a quotient in the sound mix, so... If the guy looks like he's doing all right, you could buy that he's doing okay. So I went to bad places, like, basement of bars in the Lower East Side. There's like some stand-up gigs in these places now.
Wow,
and I was looking on websites for shitty little stand-up venues.
Shit.
And I did, there was one where there's water just dripping in front of me on stage. This place down in Orchard Street or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Wow, man.
So when I was there, I was like, if they don't like it, it's not going to go. But anyway, but the fucking crowd was good.
You know how many people were happy you came into their place, and now they're hearing that you picked it because it was a shitty little place?
Yeah, they're thinking they're happening finally because Louis C.K. walked in.
No, and Lauren really helped me with the monologue, actually, because in dress, I did 12 minutes. And I came off of there feeling like that's the greatest set I ever did. This was dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
I was headed for a disastrous, because it's very bad to have a good dress rehearsal for something and then do the real show. Anyway, I was so excited, and my manager said, "Don't let him cut anything. It's perfect the way it is." So I went up to the big meeting they have between dress rehearsal and the show.
Right.
And Lauren said, "So you did 12 minutes in the monologue. How much do you want to do on air?"
Oh.
And I said, "I want to do 12. And he goes, You're not doing 12.
Wow.
He said, "You could do 7. And I said, "What if I just keep going? What if I go over?" And he goes, "Well, then we'll know that you have no discipline or ability to edit yourself." And he said, "This is in front of everybody."
Holy fuck.
And I was like, "All right."
No discipline.
Yeah. And he goes, "There are cuts in that monologue. It was good, but there were stops and starts. There were places you could cut." And I was like, "Fuck you." I was really mad. And then later, the timing lady said, "We're 1 minute under for the show." They figure out the timing. And I said, "Well, then I'll do 9 minutes." And Lauren said, "Hey, calm down." That's the first time he ever talked to me like that. Like, calm down. So I said, "I want to see the monologue. I want to see it from dress. Show it to me." And he goes, "Go ahead. Give him a, It was a little tiny bit tense because I was being really defensive.
No shit.
And so I watched the monologue from the dress, and I was like, "Holy fuck, there is a lot of cuts in this. This is not that good." Like, I was embarrassed. He saved me from going out there.
Wow, man.
Because there's a bunch of bits that did okay, but I blew them up in my head. It's the worst case scenario, is you do a rehearsal, and you're like, "I'm the greatest ever."
It's all gold.
And then on air, I would have fucking stunk for too long.
Wow.
So I sat with Michael Shea, who's a comic who writes for the show.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Very funny guy, and he sat with me to have another critical eye. It's very weird and embarrassing to ask another comedian, "Do you think this is funny?" So I knew that was a good test of it. Well, it's brought me back down to the earth that I was on when I was doing the sets, which is, let's expect this not to go well. And then I left that earth with the dress rehearsal. I'm the best there ever fucking was, and I could do 12 minutes. And then with Michael Shea, I'm like, "Please tell me if this is funny. I don't know if this is funny."
I don't even think I have 5.
Yeah, I don't think exactly. I started to think, I don't think I can have. I might have
do
4.
that joke twice? Hey, at least Michael had the balls to tell you. That's hard to tell. The biggest comic in the country, look, that one you should cut. I mean, that's good for him.
Really, really helpful.
What time was all this going on? How close to the actual show?
This is, the dress rehearsal. Fuck, I think it starts at like 9 or something. I mean, you don't have a lot of time.
How nerve-wracking.
So they're getting ready. Hours
yeah, there's a thing. There's a woman coming on, 3 minutes to air, and this is fucking live air. And I'm watching the other one. I'm going and trying to cut in my head.
You still watch it 3 minutes before air?
Yeah. And I was watching it and kind of cutting in my head.
Are you just shitting yourself at this point? I mean,
yeah,
honestly.
but I've been in that position.
Right.
So, yeah. So then when I hit the door, the back of the door that you come out for the monologue, I was like, I think I'm ready. I know what I'm not doing. And we'll just see how it goes. So that uncertain, nervous energy, you fucking need that to do that kind of thing well.
Right.
If you come out like, hey, I got this. You're fucked. So I invested like 3 weeks of preparation to feel that way. And I lost it, and when I could have,
Did it help? Did it help you to kind of have that shit to go over right before? Because then you're not focusing, like you're not just sitting in front of the mirror going, "Okay, 10 minutes."
True.
Okay,
yes,
9 minutes.
That's true too. The more you focus on the actual work and the content, that's the only thing that's going to save you. It's thinking about the spectacle. And I said it. Sam Smith, the musical guest, he had never been on anything. They found him at South by Southwest, and I asked him before the show, "How you doing?" And he said, "I'm shitting myself." English guy. "I'm shitting myself." And I said to him what I was thinking, which is just think about the song. Just think about why you wrote that song or what are you singing about. Don't think about I'm on TV. Anytime you're thinking about I'm on TV, what could this mean for me? And am I this good? And worthless. Worthless.
Yeah.
All you should be thinking of is this is what this joke is about and this is what this joke is about.
Because no matter how good you are, you're always going to read Twitter and realize, oh, I'm a cunt and I suck.
Yeah, exactly. None of that's going to pay off for you. None of that's going to help you.
He killed it, too. You couldn't tell it. It's Sam.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's nice.
That's fascinating, that behind-the-scenes stuff. Wow, you're cutting and editing right up to showtime.
Yeah, it just seems like there's less time to panic if you're working.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking.
So
that's right.
How many minutes was it in the end? 8?
8 minutes.
It was 8.
Yeah.
It was. I know it was about. I don't remember. It was about God and it was about. Dying. I forget what it was about, but it was. I remember I watched it and we played. It was amazing.
We loved it.
Like, what a ballsy fucking live TV monologue.
Well, you know what I was impressed by was they don't vet your dialogue at all, your monologue. They said nothing to me about it. Like, I thought, am I going to have to defend these jokes?
Right.
And I actually, the thing about somebody's got to check under the porch of God's porch to see if there's a dead lady under it. I thought about doing that only at air, because I thought if I do it at dress, they might say something. But then I just felt it's not fair. They were so nice to me.
Yeah.
So I did it. Nobody from Standards or anything came up to me.
Oh, good for you.
Not a word.
So at dress rehearsal, it's just the exact same show.
Yes.
And is that in case there's a meltdown or a disaster, they can just air it?
No, there's like almost twice the show.
Oh, okay.
The show at dress rehearsal is so they can choose the sketches and stuff. They do like, if there's like 8 sketches on the show, they do like, I don't know, 15, 16 at dress.
Wow.
I probably have the numbers wrong, but they do. It's
Then they
so
can
they
pick and choose what like really worked and.
How guys like Daryl Hammond survived for that many years in that high pressure. That's a high pressure performing situation.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. I love especially after this last time. It's so fucking fun. You feel so alive for that whole week. The amount of pressure on you every day and the amount of stuff that goes on. And it's such your heart's beating all week long.
And they still have those crazy schedules, or have they calmed down where everyone stays up for?
Well, the writers are up all night, pretty much every night.
And they're punchy. There's something about being punchy, though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's good. It's good for you, I think. And I mean, these are young sketch writing is a young woman's thing. So there are some veterans there. There's a few veterans.
You get to leave after the week, and then they just another. They
say Monday morning they're there with fucking.
They got to start over, and it's week after week. That's crazy.
I wonder what it's like to have a douchey guest host. Like, I'm sure some of the guys that guest hosts aren't nice or comedians who understand humor that well. And that's got to be really frustrating or difficult.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have no problem telling the new host who the assholes were.
Yeah, you get to find out. On the table read day, there was this wonderful spread of food.
Yeah.
And they said, and it had a little sign on it from Lena Dunham. And she had just hosted. So she bought everybody dinner for the table read. Like, she sent dinner from a nice restaurant. And they said to me, Lena Dunham did this. And I said, oh, I ain't going to do it. I'm not sending you dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you. And so I stopped that tradition. That probably could have been a tradition.
Right.
That would have gone on for years. Then I did it. And then the next person said, I'm going to stop it here and save the next Seth Rogen from having to do it.
Right. Yeah, Lena Dunham sent us dinner, and Louie left a bag of chips, and that was it.
Yeah, so for someone to clean up.
Oh, that's funny.
And then on the other side of the spectrum, you get to hear stories about, Justin Bieber's a fucking giant asshole. So,
please don't shatter it. Such a dreamy doll.
Yeah, we're all surprised by that.
Yeah.
Why was he an asshole?
He's a mean dick.
Really?
Whatever. I'm betraying somebody's trust, but fuck that kid. Fuck
that kid.
Yeah.
There's also the Common Core little controversy.
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus,
look out.
I know.
Look out.
But good for Louie, man, because now people are paying attention.
People really are amazing at their defense of something that, first of all, is so new and has proven imperfections in it.
Everything
but
does.
They just
it's education.
Right. But they really just want to dig in, and this is the new great thing.
Right.
And as a parent, you are seeing something not so good about it.
Yeah, and when people get that way, often when you look at their... Like, I don't mix it up online, and I don't go on Twitter and mix it up with folks.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at people like yourself.
Oh, I will fucking... I am the worst.
Who will take someone who has 4 followers.
Yes.
And just make them a star.
To me, it's a means to an end. Right. I need to get my word out there, but I need someone to ask me why that should be.
But you do it every day here.
Well, I know.
You get your word out.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I have a microphone. I have the world's ear.
Yeah. How old is your daughter? That was her homework?
9 years old. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Louis showed one one of the pictures of the question,
I loved it,
and I looked at it, and I actually got the answer, and I was proud of myself. I'm just realizing she was a kid.
Third grade.
Yeah, and I felt good about it.
A lot of people write, what's the big deal? Number's 3. Answer's 3. Right. Answer's 3. Give me another
35.
one. Yeah, you're wrong.
Give me another one.
Yeah, they don't get the point. No, it's been a hassle what made me do anything about it was that, at school they've tried to organize some, rallies and stuff to get, it's a real problem for our school. Mm-hmm. So the principal wrote letters to the parents saying, please help us to, get the word out about this.
Right.
Because what happened was there was a principal at a Brooklyn school. I forget her name or the school, but she said these tests, the English tests, not the math ones, the ELA test, she said it's unbelievably over the top. The answers are unanswerable. The questions are unanswerable. And then, so the people, the standardized testing people and the DOE, the Department of Education, said, well, she's the only one. She's the only one who thinks that. She's an anomaly. So all the other principals said, no, we all feel this way. So there was actually a need to get the word out that it's to have some unanimity and say it's not one person.
Right.
So, and my daughter, my 12-year-old, wrote a letter just on her own. I asked her, she was writing something. I said, what are you writing? She said, I'm writing a letter to the Department of Education about the testing because she hates it. Because she wants to learn shit. She's a devoted student. So I thought, well, geez, my daughter's fucking doing something. So I should do something I'm capable of doing, which is just write this one little tweet. I just was going to write one.
That's all.
But then you put something that inflammatory out there.
Right.
And then people they come after you. So because it was something that meant something, I had to try to clarify it through more tweets and to put these pages out there. And then defend that, and it kind of got crazy.
Yes, it does snowball.
Yeah.
You said something like the thing you hate about Twitter is you say something and then someone responds and then a bunch of people attack them. The thing you hate about Twitter is exactly what I love about it.
I know. Yeah, some guy wrote, you shouldn't be commenting about this because you're not an expert. So, which is a very touchy issue with this whole thing.
Right.
Which is that people that are experts think they should make policy and everyone should not only accept the policy, but don't even
question it. Right.
Don't even say, isn't everything helped by dialogue? Isn't absolutely everything helped by information? Like, we all must be the thing of which we do not speak. This idea that there's a cloak over it. Don't quiet.
Right.
Common Core is work. It's trying to work. Don't say anything about it.
And you being a parent makes you.
Well, I'm the end user.
You're the end user, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And in a very important way, it's fucking children's education. Yeah. And I don't have some power to say this has to go. And I didn't even say this has to go. I said, we're struggling. Mm-hmm. We're struggling. So often very young people that don't look like they have kids, that have, around usually 1,200 Twitter followers. Yeah. Because they have a blog somewhere. They go, the guy goes, you should not be talking. Oh. And all I wrote back was, I have 2 children in a public school in a state where testing is an issue. So I don't need your permission to comment. It wasn't even really hitting back.
It's affecting you directly.
But then there's just this rain of shit. Just people going, you're fucking asshole, cocksucker, faggot, you suck a bag of dicks, fuck you. And it's embarrassing and it's tough to take.
Yeah.
And your daughter's just frustrated because she really wants to learn and the testing just gets in the way constantly,
You
right?
spend 6 months preparing for the thing, and then the test is 3 days. It's 3 days of testing.
Right.
Like she's trying to get it to pass the bar exam.
Amazing.
And none of it is teaching her anything.
You're
Nothing's
not
going in.
anything.
Right, of course.
What is it, like memorization of... You're not really learning anything.
Well, I mean, it's a tricky thing. Because they changed this... I don't know. I've learned a lot about it enough to know that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's very tricky. It's a very tricky issue.
Yeah.
But I do think it's way out of whack right now. And it depends on where you are.
Right.
In some states, they roll out Common Core. In other words, they use the tests that use Common Core language, and the importance of the tests, like they start young so that a new generation of students is being taught this, and then it moves with them and every year behind them. But here in New York, they just adopted Common Core for everybody all at once. So all of a sudden, kids that are being taught the old way have to pass a test with the new criteria the next year. And everybody flunked. Like New York State did very badly because they, were going to.
Right.
And there's people that think more nefarious things are going on. That Bill Gates and the people at Pearson who published the tests wanted Common Core to fail so that they could step in.
It's obviously a conspiracy.
Yeah, that's the way some people think of it. I don't think of it that way. I think I start with the premise that everybody's trying to do their best effort, but that's not always a good thing either.
Yeah.
Bill Gates brought education to many countries in Africa and wherever else.
Sure, yeah.
Places that didn't have any schools, and he just built schools. Gave them computers and windows and all that stuff.
Scumbag.
Yeah, exactly. He's devoted most of his life to philanthropy. And so he's gone to countries and given education to whole countries that didn't have any schools. That's
you're like the first person to give $1 billion to charities.
Yeah. Him and Warren Buffett are both, they have the whole thing about, and it's great. Yeah. But then I think and this is total unsupported conjecture, it's what I've heard people say, is that he wanted to do it here, but there's already the schools. There are schools here. Like it's not a rubble here.
Right.
So he's frustrated because in order to affect change in America, you have to go slow, get your hands dirty. You have to really talk to people that feel like they are entitled to a certain level. And so the idea was change standardized testing like all at once to say, here's what you have to know. Everybody fails, and then you can say the schools aren't working. So
right.
I'll come in and save the day.
I got a good idea.
But I don't believe that's true. But I believe there's elements of that in there. I mean, from working in movies, the first step of when a movie gets handed in by a director, the first thing they want to say is it's bad, so that they can now help fix it. But you have to say something's bad,
right,
in order to fix it. So you make a test. You go, how do you evaluate it? I'm going to make a test where everybody has to guess what color I'm thinking of, and if they can't do it, they'll flunk. And then that's like the worst version of it that I don't believe in.
Right.
But that's how crazy an issue is. Some people think that's what's going on, and that then Pearson is making a bunch of money by writing tests. But somebody's always made money writing tests.
How's the homework? Because my kids are a few years behind yours. I'm panicking. How much homework am I going to have to deal with?
Well, homework is a good thing. I mean, I hope my kids are challenged by school. I hope homework's hard. But I hope everything they do is harder than what they're capable of. Right. That's how you get good at shit.
Right.
The idea that homework and tests is supposed to be a way for a kid to feel like they're really smart, then they're going to stay at a fucking stupid, self-congratulatory third grade level until they're fucking...
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's not. It should be really hard. It should be too hard, and it should be hard as a parent to sit with your kid and get.
But remember, when we were growing up, you were at school all day. You came home, maybe you got an hour to run around, and then you had 3 hours of homework every night.
Sit there.
That just doesn't make sense
homework.
to me.
Well, why not? Why doesn't it?
Because they should be learning a lot at school. No. Why do they have to now continue to work on shit after school?
Because
I understand a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but
the idea isn't that the teacher's job is to just plug information into the kid's head, and then the kid has to learn how to find the information for themselves. Homework is more important.
I'm being selfish because I got my siblings all have.
You just don't want to have to
my siblings all have older kids, and they call me and they're like, "We're doing their fucking homework every night."
Yeah,
we're now part-time teachers because we have to work them through all this shit.
Well, the thing you should be doing, you shouldn't help them figure it out, but you keep the thing you can do for your kid if you're nice is keep them company while they're having to do it. It's hard to sit there by yourself, and after a while, the kid is literally laying on her back, looking at the ceiling and moaning. Right. She can't fucking do it. And when it gets that, and I'm trying to make dinner, and she's doing that, and when it gets that bad, I go and sit next to her and just keep going, come on. come on, and maybe read it out loud with her.
Motivation.
And that's how this started, because I'm reading this thing. I'm like, look, honey, you just have to look at don't think of the whole big thing here. Do one problem. Okay, what does this problem say? And I read it, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? That makes no sense. That makes no... And I'm like, are they teaching you this? She goes, no, they just put it on test prep. They crunch test prep so you can sort of learn how to answer these questions. Jesus. And they're poorly written questions. They're not intuitive. They're not empathetic.
Right.
In order to teach a third grader, you need to understand how a third grader thinks. You can't just be some academic somewhere who says, this is a very appropriate pattern of thinking for a young mind. You have to go, I know a third grader named Evan, and he probably would never fucking get this. So if you're trying to bring a kid to a new idea, give him a path. Don't just stick the new idea in some other language.
Yeah.
Right. And go, if you don't get this, then fuck you and fuck your stupid teacher.
Got it. Definitely got it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I always say, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats forever. Back to you, Lou.
Yeah.
Hey, did you eat pizza with Diane Sawyer?
Yeah.
How was that?
Slice.
At Ben's, right?
Yeah,
down
Ben's.
in the village.
That's where I get my pizza.
Right, and the opening.
I liked her. She's a nice. I mean, I grew up. It was Diane Sawyer. She's one of the relics of my youth.
Yes.
How'd she look up?
I don't know. She would. I'm sure she would.
Yeah, she probably would appreciate your phraseology.
It's so nice to meet you. You're a relic of my youth.
You're a cunt I remember from way back.
How'd she look up close? I used to have a little thing for Diane Sawyer. She was always a little sexy.
She's an attractive woman.
She is, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah,
and she's very nice. I'm sorry, that's boring.
That's
tell you
not
at all.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the stuff you've.
Yeah, she was cool.
Was she like a fan of yours?
I mean, she was. I don't know. At her point in her career, like they just sort of tell her there's this guy, and then she watches 3 things, and she's like, I got it. I don't think.
Oh, there you are. There's a little taste of the interview right there.
Yeah.
What did she ask you about?
I don't know. She asked me about doing the show and being a dad and stuff like that. I don't know. That shit's embarrassing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are the kids
talking about yourself all fucking? It's so.
How are the kids handling the upswing and the fame?
It's okay. I mean, their experience of it is they're proud of me when things happen,
Right.
But it's just, hey kids, I wanted a Grammy. I won a Grammy, and it was literally like I got an email saying I was making dinner.
Right.
Hey guys, I won a Grammy, and then from the other room, that's great, Daddy. That's it.
But are they getting not harassed, but more questions at school and stuff from their?
I don't think that much. No,
okay.
I mean, I think mostly they just live in their lives. When people know you every day in practical life, you're not interesting to them.
Right.
You're just another person, which is my favorite way to exist.
Yeah,
I don't like being set apart.
Right.
It makes me really uncomfortable. Like if I'm at a gate to get on a plane, I just want to be like a bunch of people at a gate eating a Carmelo thing and reading the Times.
Right. But
when somebody goes, "Oh my God." Oh shit! Can I get a picture with you? And then everybody in the gate turns and looks at me.
Yeah.
And some people who hadn't noticed me go, "Oh yeah," and other people are like, "Why? Who is he?
Who's he?"
And then that person walks, and I go, "No, I'm not going to take your picture. So picture with you." So then they also go, "God, he seems like kind of an asshole." And then I'm like,
now everyone thinks you're an asshole.
I just want to be some dude at the gate,
some anonymous guy.
Did anyone give you shit for that or no?
What?
Has anyone been like confrontational or nasty about that, or are they all okay?
Mostly not. I mean, I get when people ask me for pictures and I say no, they always look a little surprised, and then 90% of the people adjust and go, "I'm all right," but there are people that they walk away and they look really bummed.
Yeah,
and I feel nothing. I feel no.
What percentage of people that ask you do you actually take a picture with?
0.
0, right?
0.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because also then other people ask too. I don't like doing it. I don't like to live in that moment. Why should I do something I don't like doing?
That fake smile.
No reason.
Fake camaraderie. Look,
yeah, they come on, and then a joke about, come on, you don't know how to use the camera. That new technology. I know, no, it's all right. Yeah, go ahead.
It's blurry. Can we take one more?
Yeah.
No,
you can't. No, can't take one.
0%. I like that.
It's down to 0 now.
Was it because they're bothering you with your kids, like you're out with your children and people?
If I'm with my kids, I'm rude about it.
Yeah.
If I'm with my kids and somebody says, "Can I get a picture with you?" I just go, "No." If I'm just on the street by myself,
no. Look what I have.
Yeah, I've actually been with my kids where, like, if they're getting ahead of me a little, like as we're walking, I catch up to them for that protection.
They're protecting.
Yeah, no, it's
Someone will
totally.
be like, oh, look, it's Louie. Let's get a picture. Oh, it's Louie and his kids.
Yeah.
Let's lay off.
Yeah.
We think the opposite. We leave here, we kind of just mingle around the building, just hoping.
Hey, where's
just
someone with a camera?
Well, I guess. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, I say words like radio really loud.
On the radio with you guys. What do you think, Opie? What do you think, Anthony?
Yes.
We're looking around, mingling.
Hey, good show today.
Thanks, Ed. Fucking
and then people are like, well, if they're saying that, it couldn't be those guys.
Oh, that'd be nice to get to the Louis C.K. point. Not now.
No, damn you.
Like
What point did it get annoying? Like, I haven't gotten annoyed by it, but I don't have children, and I don't, I haven't really been asked at awkward times. But at what point did you go, like, fuck, I hate this?
Well, the struggle is that I don't have I have no problem with the person that asks. I don't think they're doing it. I think they're being nice. They're actually being very nice.
Sure, a little support.
But they don't know what it would feel like. If it was once a day, it would be okay. But I get asked a few times a day. So, and if I did it, I would get asked more because every time you take a picture with somebody, people start coming towards you.
Yes.
That's just where I'm at right now. I don't think this is going to last. This is going to die down. You know, when we did Lucky Louie, there was like 1 month when it went on the air that it was crazy how much people came up to me everywhere I went, and then it went away, like 100% away. So I know what it feels like to have this and then have it go away to the point of like, wow.
Oh boy,
that was.
I wish someone asked me for a
I wish you didn't take pictures. I got a picture of me, you, Rick, and Pam Adlon on the last day of shooting. What a fucking fat pig I looked like.
Oh,
red eyes too. No,
You've never been a fat person.
I'm telling you, it was an awful
mental problem.
No, it was an awful photo.
Do you that year you took off between the seasons? Does that help you with just having life experiences to write into the show?
Yeah, I just hung out with my kids and breathed and lived life. And there was plenty to do.
You did a couple movies too there, Lou.
Did a couple movies. Those were like
a couple little movies there,
5 to 8 days of shooting.
Oh, that was it.
Very short shoots.
But I'm just thinking, like, in between in between seasons, you'd be like, oh, I got to write something. What happened, or this would make a good story. Is it like, good, I have all this stuff that I lived, and that kind of helps, or is it just
a little bit? But mostly it's having a more normal, humbling, regular life. It's not like events that take place. It's just feeling what life feels like.
Yeah,
and when life feels like making TV shows all the time. I mean, one of the last stories I did last season was about being on a TV show.
Right.
And that's when you start going, all right, we're starting to make a thing about the thing we're making about the thing we're making.
Right.
So let's get the fuck out of this for a little while.
Because
beg off.
I just asked that because it showed in the kind of natural, you're just living your life feel of the first few episodes.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, this happened, I have a story. It's just like, I remember what it's like to just be a dude.
You're cooking dinner for your kids and stuff, and it's goddamn adorable.
That's what my usual days are like.
Are you writing down ideas all year, though? Because you said you took some time away from thinking of stand-up and thinking of this. Like, are you putting shit down all year? Like, maybe something later, maybe like Woody Allen writes like a note and he'll throw it in a drawer?
Well, I actually build in, like, there's like the month of June, it's worked out usually each year. I don't have a single creative thought. I just like avoid it because you got to rest the muscle or whatever. But usually around the spring, I write basic, like just just like a pen and notepad. Just start writing basic ideas.
So there's a time
I started writing scripts like in July or so.
If you think of something, will you just go? If it's in that month, will you just go? Fuck it, it'll come back or it won't.
Yeah, I really try to stay away.
You don't write it down?
Gamble.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
You would think you would at least write it down, throw it in a drawer.
You'd think, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm lying a little bit. I don't know.
Well, Jimmy
I don't know.
really
I'll write myself
fat.
an email sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Because even if you're not thinking creatively, you just know, like, holy shit, that would so work. And,
but when
to let it go away, that's scary to me.
Well, when I'm in that mode, it's because usually I'm pretty burnt and I'm not.
So you're not
much is coming. So I just don't think that way.
I'm always afraid of losing that. But if you know you have confidence in your writing and the fact that ideas are going to be there and you're going to create, it takes some of that pressure off to write every single moment down.
I mean, I don't have a rain of ideas coming all the time. It's like a really good idea comes like once every 3 months or something.
Right.
Like something great. So, yeah, slow.
I'm amazed at how fast the turnaround and like I think something's a good idea and the next day I look at it and I just realize what a no talent hunk of shit I am. Like that's the voice. Like, oh, that sounded great.
Yeah, no, that's always.
You're mean.
I'm mean.
Well, even when an audience laughs at something and then you think it's good, it must be good, and then it never gets a laugh again. And you think, oof. Yeah. That was so good, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was shit.
Now let me just second guess everything I do.
Yeah, and then you need 50 audiences to prove to you that it was bad because of that one that laughed at it.
But it was good. What happened?
The worst is when it used to work and it doesn't anymore. And it's like we talked about that. It goes into that different part of your brain, and you were so smart when you said like it goes into that. It becomes like a function, like a task part of your brain.
Yeah, it becomes a procedure. I learned that at the Museum of Natural History. They have a brain, and they show you how it works, like a brain that's like has glowing parts.
Sure.
And they show you how it works. And when you're learning something and you're like carving these paths in your brain to learn how to do something, but once you learn it, it becomes a procedure, which it's just a list of things. So you just load your brain just goes go to procedure A. Oof. It doesn't go like do this then that and then maybe this will work.
That's how it learned it.
Yeah, so jokes become that. Jokes become like and you can tell a comic who's got to that place, and you can feel it on stage. Like I'm thinking about everything but this. Like I'm not even thinking about this. Wow. I'm doing a joke. Nah, here's a pause. Look, that. So when it starts to get like that, when jokes start dying,
right?
I try to remember what is this joke about and tell it again like I never told it. Like explain the idea instead of the pattern.
Yeah, get it off of the track.
Yeah, get it off of the whole
right.
The rhythm and the certain word you said and then the face you made. And
the little spontaneous chuckle that you put in.
Such a brilliant way of explaining that. Because there's certain jokes that just didn't feel right. Like, that's exactly what it was. Instead of 10 different lines, it became one line. It just became one action.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Wow,
fascinating. How many more years for the show, Lou?
I don't know. I just finished this one, so it's whenever I'm done with a year, I'm like, I want to just stop.
Oh, really?
Forever. Yeah. I never want to keep doing it.
Right.
But this year felt better.
Right.
It was harder. We did it. There's a hurricane we created a hurricane in the winter. So it was awful.
I remember you telling us about that last time you were in. I can't wait to see that episode.
That was hard, but that's coming later in the year. But I'm working now on Zach Galifianakis. He's doing a pilot for FX that I'm producing through my company.
Good for you.
Has he said what it's about, or is he not really saying
I'm writing it with him. Okay. So we're shooting it actually in a couple of weeks.
You really opened the gates.
That's exciting because Zach is the funniest fucking guy.
He's great.
And you opened up the gates for FX.
Well, Zach didn't need me to
I know, but
because he was.
But there's other shows coming now, and it all seems because you pushed that door open.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what's out there that has anything to do with me, but yeah, FX has maybe a little more courage to try some shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And what about like hanging out and having fun and shit? Doing much of that?
He wants to know if you're doing any of that fucking.
No, with work. I mean, because people see you, they see you on TV, on your show, interviews and stuff like that. It's like you get much time to just fuck around and
I build it into my year because this is right now I'm promoting the show. This was the best year ever because I had time to write it, and then we took so much longer to shoot it, and then I edited it, and I'm done. They're all done.
That's great.
So now I'm promoting it, doing this shit.
Right.
And then I think May 12th is like my last. Well, this is like the high watermark of promotion.
Of course.
This is the fun stuff. Doing you guys. It's the fucking some of the other shit is awful. But
the local news shows, the morning shows.
I don't do those anymore.
No,
I should be doing them. I should be doing them.
You're just
taking money out of my own pocket by not wanting to be on those things. But it'll be over. I think May 12th I'm doing Jimmy Fallon, and that's it. And then after that, I'll have the whole. Then I block out. Then I'm aggressively relaxing.
Right.
And I'll take most of the summer. I won't work.
little boating.
I'll go out on the boat.
Oh, how is the boat?
Fucking great.
How many repairs in the off season?
Not bad. Not too bad.
Okay.
I did the I didn't do anything. I
had this
repainted, revarnished, and some others. Got a new tender, new dinghy.
Nice.
Everyone that has a boat's always off season. It's like, fucking new engine. God damn, I had to pull the old fucking engine out of it. And those things just cost
tons of money.
Goddamn.
So it's all kind of getting. This is my first year with it too, so I'm doing it. And it'll be back in the water in like a week or so.
Oh, you're excited.
Yeah,
you gotta be excited about that.
I'm very excited about the whole summer.
Oh, any big trips planned?
We'll probably go up to. I want to take the boat further up, like maybe to Maine or somewhere this time.
Nice.
So I'll be doing that, and it's and I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do any movies this year. Last summer I ended up using a lot of this summer doing that stuff. I'm not gonna do the movies this time. I don't like movies. It's not fun. It really isn't. It's fun if the movie's really great and you have a short amount of time there.
Right.
But like I've been offered big parts in movies, but it's like a month living in Shreveport, Louisiana, or someplace.
Right.
And it's not worth it. It's not worth what I would get out of it.
Wow. We'll take any movie.
Louis like the opposite.
I have a job. Like I'm gainfully employed, and then I have a fallback, which is I could go on tour. If they
but a lot of people
TV shows.
feel like they have to strike while the iron's hot and do everything. Like projects are thrown at them, and it's like if this dries up, I better let me do this, do that, and just do everything.
Now you don't have to do that, and also the amount you'd have to I'd have to trade in for that of my real life.
Well, that's just it. A lot of people will just sacrifice. Any
if you're
real
an actor,
lifetime.
If you're an actor, that's your job.
Yeah.
If you're an actor, you better fucking do that.
Take everything.
Better take every possible part, and your family better appreciate it and lay off. Because you have no fucking ability to create anything for yourself.
A comedian actor can just, worst comes to worst, you're back out on the road doing great.
Many ways to make a living.
And an actor.
An actor is just an empty. It's like a cup It's like a cup hoping somebody will pour some coffee into it. There's just no. There's no fucking. They just please.
Right.
God, whenever you see a movie and the actor's playing this really complex, interesting character, you know, like this some kind of genius, amazing person, and then you meet them and they're like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool." And you realize he has no fucking.
Nothing's there.
They just poured the words into him. And then they have this wonderful ability to have it come out and feel right. Yeah. It's an amazing thing that they can do it, but they don't keep any of the coolness or
It really is amazing when you see somebody do such a good job in a movie, and then you sit down to talk to them in an interview or something, and it's pulling teeth. They have nothing.
No, they're not that person.
And perhaps that takes that type of person.
It does. You have to be
the empty vessel that can be filled with a whole new
some
personality.
People look at it that way, and I'm being mean. There's plenty. I've had friends that are actors.
Being honest,
but it's like being an athlete. That's the way I think of them. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of actors are like jocks, and it is amazing when you get like a fucking Michael Jordan to work with who just can really. And some of them are both. This year Jeremy Renner did like a 2-episode arc on the show. And he's actually a really intelligent, cool guy. He's a very nice guy too. But he's like having like fucking Derek Jeter on the set. And Jesus, the shit he can do. He's just so good.
Really?
I think you just realized that you use actors on your show and you had to
I have to be nice to them. Yeah, no, I don't care.
That's that brilliant explanation. Wait a minute, I use actors on my show.
There's no way I'm going to call Al Pacino and he's going to say, "I heard you on Opie and Anthony."
Right, true. I need somebody. Could you book me a coffee cup so I can fucking...
Yes. Yeah, get me an empty vessel. I guess.
Give me some random empty vessel from your agency.
Yeah.
Send them over.
No, it's not well.
Well, we were
smart.
We were told we had Louie till 9. It's already 9:15.
Louie's busy now.
We got to get him out of here, man.
Fucking great seeing you.
I don't know what to say,
Good
but
to see you guys.
Always.
Go get the GQ and check out the 15 funniest people
you can
alive.
just flip through
Louis
it
C.K.
Just newsstand and put it back. I don't know why you'd buy it. I don't need to take that home.
Oh, you rule.
What time tonight is it on?
10
o'clock
on
and
FX.
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
10
So from 10 to 11 every Monday.
Yes.
It's my there's one double episode that they're 45 minutes each.
Yeah.
So there's one night that I'm on for 90 minutes.
Very cool.
Ooh.
It's like the week before the finale.
Yeah.
I did this whole flashback episodes, and it turned into like a movie basically. So it's like it's 2 episodes, but they filled out to a 90-minute.
Did you ask them like, look, I need more time here, or did you just?
Yeah, they used to be hard. It used to be like you fight for a minute over, but everything's different now for all television. Like with how much time they take.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore for some reason.
Yeah, so most people don't watch it on the air anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I told them these are both the actual running time is like 33 minutes each, but with commercials that's 45 minutes. And they said, yeah, the Sons of Anarchy turns in like twice the amount. Everybody goes over now.
Okay.
So,
and you don't tune in late tonight either, because that opening sequence.
Yeah, the first scene of the first show is one of the funniest things that we've done on the show. And the first part on the street with the garbage men was directed by my assistant director, because I was throwing up and I couldn't get to the set.
Wow.
I was vomiting out of my asshole and my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Just water. And so they said, look, we'll shoot it, because everybody was there and ready. They said, we'll shoot it with Adam, and if you don't like it, we can reschedule it. But as long as everybody's here, let's shoot it. So they shot it, and he fucking nailed it. It's great.
Fucking great.
Yes, I saw you like a week after that, and they said you were eating ice cream and you were sick, and you were just shitting and puking.
Yeah, I was in bad shape.
Sucks. Glad you're better.
Yes.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're